how would you like to consider such a future when you won't be able to drive your car because gasoline will be unavailable? I don't like to think about such future, and I decided to make some research to find out what people can do to prevent it from happening. So I talked to some people in the energy business, and I read some magazines, articles in magazines, and in everything that I have studied, the answer was that we should start conserving our remaining resources of gas and oil and develop alternative sources of energy. I'm here today to tell you about one of these alternative forms of energy that is available right here in Idaho and in Boise area. This source of energy is called geothermal energy. So today I'll tell you what we mean when we say geothermal energy, how people can use it, and what are comparative advantages of using it. So let's start with the origin of this energy. About 4.5 billion years ago, our Earth was a fiery ball of molten rock and gas. Over the past 4.5 billion years, it has cooled down significantly, but still it's very hot inside. Molten rock, called magma, in some places gets to the surface and we can see it in the forms of volcanoes. In other places it heats the water trapped in the rocks, and this water stays in some special reservoirs, and if it gets to the surface then we can see hot springs or geysers. So all of this heat from inside the Earth is what is called geothermal energy. The question is how people can use it to meet their needs, so that they could be less demanded, to reduce their dependence on oil and gas. Well, the answer is to drill wells, but instead of drilling oil wells, we should drill wells for hot water. We can then bring hot water to the surface and use it for all sorts of different purposes. For example, if the water is quite hot, over 250 degrees Fahrenheit, it can be used to generate electricity in power plants. And I will want to show you this cartoon picture. It shows how hot water is used to generate electricity. So the water from geothermal reservoir goes up the production well to the power plant. There it is used, the heat of this water is used to generate electricity. Then cold water goes down back to geothermal reservoir along injection valve. The heat, you can see that it's a closed system and there is no pollution. Next, what I want to show you actually is the picture of the power plant near Berkeley in the process of when it was still the building site. And this is after it was built. So I was in that power plant, so I was kind of a witness to this process. And it looks quite impressive, and it is. It can generate enough electricity to provide all the needs of a city of 120,000 people. The good thing about generating electricity is that while it is generated, it can be transmitted by wires to just about anywhere. But let's talk about cases when the water is not very hot, let's say between 120 and 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Then it can't be used to generate electricity, but it can be used for other purposes. Let's say to heat buildings, in agriculture, in greenhouses, to dry food like onions and garlic, to heat swimming pools and spas, etc. I even read about an example that somewhere they use this heat to grow little alligators in the farm. I think it's fun. Right here in Boise, we have used hot geothermal water to heat buildings in a large portion of city since 1890s. Warm Spring Street was one of the first areas in Boise to do this. According to Geothermal magazine, 18 geothermal heating districts exist in the United States, and the most extensive is located here in Boise, Idaho. I think that this is something to be proud of besides our great football team. Already today lots of Americans use this energy to heat and cool their houses. According to Peter Hildebrand, the author of the article Drill Baby Drill, about 6 million people in the USA get energy from geothermal applications, and it reduces their electric bills significantly. For example, the energy bill, I apologize for this quality of this picture. The energy bill of this house in Oklahoma City that has 3,000 square foot area, they pay $60 per month using a geothermal heat pump. Finally, I want to enumerate the advantages that geothermal energy has. So first, it helps keep our air clean. It's renewable, it's sustainable, and it's secure and reliable. As you see, there are lots of advantages. Today I informed you about a little bit about this gift of nature that we can use for different purposes. I told you what we mean by geothermal energy, what should people know about it, how they can use it, and what are the comparative advantages. So a good way to conserve our remaining petroleum supplies is to use alternative sources of energy. And always remember that the future comes very quickly.